Good afternoon and welcome back to the Smarter Wealth channel. I am your host, Troy Lerche, bringing you this week in wealth. I wanted to first take a moment. As you can see from my background, it is the 9/11 Memorial in New York City. And actually, it is called the Tribute in Light. It's commemorative public art installation first presented 6 months after 9/11, and then every year thereafter, from dusk to dawn on the night of September 11th. It has become an iconic symbol of both that both honors those killed and celebrates the unbreakable spirit of New York. A little bit about the tribute. It's assembled on the roof of Battery Parking Garage south of the 9/11 Memorial, and the twin beams reach up to 4 miles into the sky and are comprised of 88 7,000-watt xenon light bulbs positioned in two 48-foot squares, echoing the shape and orientation of the Twin Towers. So I know everybody remembered 20 years ago over the weekend on September 11th, and we really appreciate all of our heroes. And it's a very sad time 20 years ago. And with that said, we'll hop right into our standard CAPE indicator, which is actually down a little bit. It's down to 38.51 from 39.17. We still remain in cyclical bull territory, and 4 of our 4 indicators are still green. U.S. markets last week retreated in the holiday shortened week. We had small caps leading the way down after 2 weeks of outperformance. The Dow Jones shed 761 points, which was a decline of 2.2%. The NASDAQ had a decline of 1.6%. And by market cap, we had large caps retreated 1.7, mid caps retreated 2.7, and with that, the Russell 2000 small caps were negative 2.8%. International markets followed suit, except for the Far East. International markets were mostly down for the week. We had Canada's TSX retrace last week's gain, ending down just under 1%. In Europe, United Kingdom's FTSE 100 retreated 1.5%. France's CAC 40 shed 0.4%, and Germany's DAX declined 1.5%. However, in Asia, China's Shanghai Composite surged 3.4%, and Japan's Nikkei vaulted 4.3%. So overall, we had developed international markets ending down 1.1 and emerging markets ending down 1.2. Commodities, precious metals declined last week, with gold giving up 2.3% and silver losing 3.6%. Wow, that's a big drop. We had energy finished up for the week. West Texas Intermediate crude finished up just over 0.5%. And copper finished the week up 2.7%. On the inflation front, prices at the producer level rose again in August following a big jump in July. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported the U.S. Producer Price Index, or PPI index, rose 0.7% in August. Economists had expected a 0.6% advance. From the same period last year, producer prices were up 8.3%, which is the largest gain since the data was first collected in 2010. We've mentioned it before, but the core prices, which exclude food and energy, were up 0.3%. So inflation remains well above the Federal Reserve's 2% annual target, and producers are still struggling with the shortage, bottlenecks, and transportation difficulties in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. International economic news, we had the Bank of Canada kept its key interest rate target steady this week and warned a fourth wave of pandemic and its ancillary effects could weigh on the economic recovery. The central bank held its target to the overnight rate of 0.25% and said it'll also maintain quantitative easing program by buying bonds at a target pace of $2 billion per week. Finally, a quote unquote unicorn in business is a startup with a valuation of $1 billion or more. So called because they used to be, quote, as rare as a unicorn, end quote. Not any longer. Floods of startups and even bigger flood of venture capital have resulted in more than 800 private startups with valuations of $1 billion or more. Some recent hotties are the likes of Stripe, SpaceX, ByteDance, and Epic Games. Adding up the current valuations of the 800 plus unicorns comes to a staggering $2.6 trillion valuation. A sobering thought is that all of these 800 unicorns added up together equal one Apple. That is pretty crazy. So thank you all for watching. Again, if you like our content, make sure you don't want to miss any, make sure you subscribe to the Camarda Wealth channel and hit the like button. Thank you so much.